So I'm going to be doing the postural distortion of hyperkyphotic thoracic spine. And so with this distortion, to see it, we will be looking at it from the side or the lateral view, since it is in the sagittal plane. And so first, things that should be in alignment should be your mastoid process, the acromion process, and then the greater trochanter. But with this distortion, they become misaligned. And so the big one is that the acromion process becomes more in front of rather than straight above the greater trochanter. And then there might be a slight misalignment of the mastoid process being in front of the acromion process and the greater trochanter, depending on the severity of the distortion. And then things that can cause this distortion are primarily working in front of the body, causing a greater flexion of the trunk and spine to happen. So these could be things such as working on your computer in front of your body for long periods of time and then over continuous times. Also just slouching while you're sitting all the time, and then looking down at your phone, constantly causing yourself to be in that slouching position while you're sitting, standing, walking, playing video games, like on the computer, phone, even on the TV, depending on how you're sitting. Carrying heavy backpacks can cause you to get that slouching, rounded back position of the spine. And then also things such as using a walker, depending on if you're in rehab maybe, or you need the walker to walk, it can cause the curvature of the spine to be in kyphosis. And then specific bones and muscles that can be a part of the problem. The big primary one is your weakened vertebrae of the thoracic spine right here. The vertebrae becomes increased compression of the anterior bodies of the vertebrae, and so the anterior part of the vertebrae become more compressed, causing them to become more of a wedge shape to allow for the curvature to happen. And so instead of the cylinder shape that it should be, and that can also increase the risk of osteoarthritis. And then some muscles that are involved, so you could have increased tension or tightening and shortening of the pectoralis major and minor, and then the sternocleidomastoid in the front of the body. And then you could also have weakened back muscles, such as your trapezius, your rhomboids, your latissimus dorsi could become weakened and also lengthened due to the hyperkyphotic thoracic spine distortion. And then with the shortening of the chest muscles, you could have the thoracic cavity becomes more closed off due to the slumping and the shortening of all those muscles, which can result in decreased deep breaths due to the decreased ability of your lungs being able to freely expand, allowing yourself to freely breathe. And then things that can fix this distortion could be things such as wearing more of a back brace rather than a lifestyle change, but some of those could be just having things when you're looking at it more at eye level with you, right at your face, having a stand for your computer to be on, or making sure you're holding your phone in front of your face rather than making yourself look down at it. You could also, if you're having a heavy bag that you realize you're having, you could have a rolly cart behind you, or just have a lighter load to be carrying. And then you could also change your pillow out if that seems to be a part of the problem. You could have a different pillow to help with to hold your back and neck in place, or just to make sure it's comfortable overnight as well. And so that is the hyperkyphotic thoracic spine postural distortion.